Well, hello and welcome to Third and Long after a Christmas break, rocking into the tunes of Electric Mary, Let Me Out. Big thank you to Russell Brown for that fantastic song that opens up our show every week. Provide you a 360-degree access, all areas past to everything in the NFL with an Aussie twist. Third and Long is brought to you by Little Birdie TV, and topsport.com.au. A big welcome back to Marco. How have we enjoyed the Christmas break? I know the golf game has been getting a little bit of a flogging.
Yeah, a couple of nice rounds down the coast there. Corey had to get away for a week, as we all did. We took a week off, week 16. Hope not everyone missed us over the Christmas New Year's break. And it was good. Got some good weather down there. Avoided COVID and played some good golf. So it was a good week away.
Yes, a good luck trying to tiptoe through that pond that is COVID at the moment, because I've got it. So I'm in isolation at the moment and making the best of it with all the NFL that is over the Christmas break. It's fantastic. And one man who's definitely enjoyed his Christmas break, he might have had a few beers and he's definitely been working on that suntan. How are you going, Toprope?
Still working on the tan, Corey. It's still on holidays up northern New South Wales, up in Foster's. So a few rays, a few beers, getting a little bit of golf in. So not too bad with the 10-week off.
Yes, it would be great, gentlemen, if every time of year was like this time of year, where you can get out and play golf without being rushed. There's plenty of NFL on. It'd be a dream, wouldn't it? But anyway, it's been a huge week in football once again. Trying to keep track of all the different days. We also always seem to lose the days at the moment. Been a huge week 17 of the NFL. And once again, Tom Brady delivered again. And by the way, gentlemen, what about that game? Was there something that happened in that game, Marco? Can you just fill the listeners in, sorry?
Yeah, strange scenes. It's been well documented, Corey. I'll throw back a question to you. Have you ever had a teammate at the highest level walk off mid-match, just gone to the change rooms and caught an Uber away from the ground? I don't think I've ever seen that, but have you had anyone in the AFL ranks that have done something similar?
No, not even close. And I think it's the most unforgivable act in sports you could ever do. And look, we can make all sorts of excuses for Antonio Brown, but he's got a rap sheet that's as long as your arm. And to do that mid-game, I don't know. There has to be other things at play. I think, why the hell would you do it? You're in a team. You've won your division. Looks like you're going to go deep into the playoffs once again, and you just throw it all away. And Toprope, what did you make of all that? Because when it was happening on Red Zone, I don't know if anyone was watching that specific game. It definitely came up on Red Zone when all that drama unfolded.
Yeah, it's in a sport and at a position filled with some absolute divas. He really has made himself stand out. He's surpassed T.O. and some of the great divas of our time. Like that, you're completely right. That's completely unforgivable. To be fair, some of his previous acts have been pretty unforgivable, but I would struggle to see him ever playing another down in the NFL ever again. Like I think we've crossed the threshold here. Like that was absolutely insane, because he was being asked to play. Like the bloke said he was injured, and even if that was the case, he's a renowned liar. He recently come back from a 3-week suspension for lying. So why should he expect the coach to believe him? Like, I'll be pretty happy to be rid of him.
And I did, just on that, guys, I actually felt sorry for T.O. because a few people actually lumped T.O. in the Antonio Brown category. Now, for those who don't know, T.O. actually played in a Super Bowl pretty much with a broken leg. And one thing he can never be guilty on, he always performed, but obviously had a few off-field issues, but he was never in the same category as Antonio Brown. But we move on to Cincinnati, the team that I'd spoken about, that it seemed like they'd really snuck up on us, but they haven't snuck up any longer with Joe Burrow. He's had an amazing 2-week stretch, and Marco, an amazing performance by a team that had missed the playoffs last year, finished last in their division, and look where they are now.
Yeah, it's amazing. They've won the clinched their division with a week to spare, which even probably 3 or 4 weeks ago we were saying what a tough division it was, with Baltimore going along nicely at that time. To win the division with a week in hand is unbelievable. In their last 2 weeks, as you said, you touched on Burrows. He's done something that no other quarterback had done. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards in back-to-back games. Just crazy stats. And he's throwing to a bloke that is what a first-year player Chase has been. Like, he is unbelievable. And, both sides having a good quarterback throwing to you, but the damage he's doing, they basically just lob it up now and he just goes and gets everything.
And Top Rope, the Miami bubble has definitely burst. They got pounded by Tennessee, and Tennessee now, it hasn't the cards fallen beautifully for Tennessee, because if they can manage to get a win this week, they do get a certain gentleman back, don't they?
Oh yeah, the great Derrick Henry. What a key player to get back on the eve of the playoffs. And you're right. Like they were looking like they were going to fall at the back door of the playoffs a few weeks ago. Like they struggled in the post. Dr. Foreman has been fantastic for them, but yeah, the Dolphins. Wow, like I certainly wasn't on board this year. But I would be stunned if Tua is their quarterback in Week 1 next year. The problem with Tua isn't so much a lack of ability. It's just the lack of trust that the coaching staff having him to throw the ball. Like they're falling behind, and they still don't trust him to throw the ball. Like as soon as Miami are down, more than a touchdown, they're almost out of the game.
Yeah, they are. And just moving on to some of these other games, there'll be a couple I'll quickly go through. The Raiders obviously upset the Colts. Look, as a Colts fan, losing that game 23-20, Carson Wentz is never going to be the answer. Whenever you want him to make a simple play, he never gets it done. So we'll just skip over that one, boys. Philly continue their late season charge. Boys, be interested to see, and I know that we'll get to that game, but where do we see Philadelphia at the moment? Because, again, they've been another one that's just quietly chipped away with the wins, and all of a sudden they're in the playoffs.
Very much have been the beneficiaries of a pretty soft running so far. And I think there's still a fair few question marks over their ability to throw the ball when they need to. So, look, they've actually been pretty well coached this year. They're the most run-heavy team in the NFL. They're using Jalen Hurts the right way. They're playing for in front, which they need to do. Whether they can continue it, I don't know. But I think I don't think they can go all that deep without being able to throw a football.
Is that another case? Sorry, Marco, and I'll quickly jump in. Is that another case, Top Rope, that a coach is actually playing to a rookie strengths and trying to get them the same way that Mac Jones with the Patriots, that they keep them in their lane that they're actually good at? And is it a case of the same thing with Jalen Hurts at Philadelphia?
To me, that's just good coaching, right? Like that is.
No, but a lot
playing what's in front of you, right? Like playing what's in front of you. And like we've discussed this with your Colts, we've discussed this with my 49ers. They should be running the ball. They both should be running the ball a lot more. The Niners have certainly gone that way. The Colts have certainly trended that way over the back half of the season. But you kind of compare it with coaches who quite have a system and then try and fit whatever piece they've got into that system. It's just not the way to approach it. You've got to approach it with, this is what I've got in front of me. And then when you're building, try and build things to the way you want to build to a plan. But you can't, it's the old, you can't fit a square peg into a round hole. And I think, they're playing it really, really well. You compare that to what they've done with Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. Yeah. And they haven't played to his strengths at all. They've thrown him to the wolves, and a little bit the same with Justin Fields in Chicago. We've seen some ability there, but they've done nothing to help him at all. And you look at Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts, I think they're two very different things.
And on to our final two bits of news. And look, for my boys, I would love to see this guy not only win the MVP, but I would love to see him get another Super Bowl ring. And for those that, whilst I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers, if you get the chance, check him out on the Pat McAfee show every single week, because it's essential viewing, and the one this morning was epic. But Marco, what more superlatives can you say about Aaron Rodgers? Because when you've got the opportunity to sit down over Christmas and see the way that he picks apart a game, it honestly is a thing of beauty to watch it, isn't it?
Yeah, he's an athlete at the top of his game, Corey, no doubt. He's, considering what he had to go through, well, he put himself, I guess, through it largely in the off-season and then come out in round one and all the pressure and the media are on him. Since then, it's just been unbelievable from both Coach Rodgers and the rest of the team. I know he's got a few other superstars around him. Adams being one, has had another great year. But, yeah, Rodgers looks very short quote now for the MVP. They're confirmed number one seed. They get the week off to start, and they'll freshen him right up. So, as Toprope's been tipping, I guess, now for the best part of 2.5 months, he's been saying Green Bay's been the team to beat. They're now pretty solid favourites for the Super Bowl, and it's going to take some effort from a team to knock them off at this stage.
And speaking of superlatives, Toprope, we had Big Ben and won his last game in at Heinz Stadium. Didn't have the greatest game himself. It was actually one of Paige's favourites, Najee Harris, that really carried the whole team. But great to see them go out with a win and Big Ben to get to salute the Heinz Stadium in style.
Oh, absolutely. Look, it probably hasn't been the end of a career that he would have hoped, but it's hard to knock. His career, like you could certainly make an argument he's a top 10 or 12 quarterback all time. He's one of the great winners early on. Won some Super Bowls. Was as tough as nails, right? And like that's one thing that's kind of held true to the end. Like this isn't the greatest Steelers side. He hasn't had an offensive line at all to help him, and they've still posted another winning record for a year. So yeah, pretty incredible stuff, if you ask me.
So they've gone, just on that Toprope, I think they've gone 18 years now without a losing record. So backs up exactly what you said, that they've all just an unbelievable Mike Tomlin and that record he's in the journey up at Pittsburgh has been nothing short of amazing, and it's coincided with having Big Ben at the same time. Now, gentlemen, I'll get you to break down individually. I'll go to Marco first, seeing the AFC. I'll get you to break this down for us at the moment. With Tennessee, they're sitting in the box seat now after Kansas City losing. But how do you see this final round evolving with all the permutations and what happens in the AFC?
Yeah, there's plenty, obviously, to play out. I saw the amount of combinations still to go on this. Obviously, Tennessee playing Houston, they hold the ace up their sleeve at the moment. KC play before them, so they get the advantage, I guess, of knowing what's going on. Can't imagine Kansas City dropping to Denver. But, yeah, Tennessee, you would think, would get over Houston, become the number one seed. And as we just touched on before, with the opportunity to have the week off and get back Henry, who was, maybe gearing towards MVP himself at the stage when he went out, would be an awesome boost to a team that, they get the week off. It's going to be tough, but you've got to go into Tennessee and beat a fresh Henry. It's going to take a good performance from a Chiefs. Other than that, the Bills and the Pats are probably playing out who wins there. The Bills are in front. You wouldn't expect them to drop either. I think they'll clinch the division. Of the wild cards, I think the Colts should get it done, and probably the Chargers at this stage. Chargers play the Raiders on the last game of the fixture to probably sew up the last wild card spot there, and I favour the Chargers in that game.
And on to the NFC Toprope, and looking at this, it's hard not to think that the winner of the Super Bowl possibly comes from this side when you see some of the records in that side of that conference. So where do you sit, like, not only with the it obviously looks like, it's already been sewn up with Green Bay getting the number one seed, but how do you see the rest of it going, and in particular the wild cards?
Yeah, look, it's all but secure over on the NFC side. The Rams Cardinals division still up for grabs there, but I don't see a whole lot changing. I think the betting is reasonably straightforward in a lot of them. The Dallas Philly game is interesting. Dallas play early, can get up to the number 2 spot. Could be massive for them, so I do expect them to play a full side. But Philadelphia, are they going to take this as a bye week, or are they going to and kind of just put it up for grabs as to where they lob, or are they going to try hard? Because the chances of them playing Dallas is reasonably high. Dallas win, and would they be happy enough to play Dallas in week one of the finals, an opponent they know very well, who they've already met twice this year? So they might be happy just to lob in the seventh spot and cop Dallas there. So different kettle of fish though if they end up with Tampa Bay. You're not seeing a huge amount of change, certainly not like the AFC side of things. The Packers should be resting a lot of players against the Lions. They'll be treating that as a bye. The Bucks should have very few problems with the Panthers, even with all the drama around Brown, Antonio Brown leaving. So, interesting one will be the Niners and Rams and the Cardinals and Seahawks, which will have a bit of a bearing as to who could either get the 2 seed there, which would be a Rams win over the Niners. They would probably secure the 2 seed there, or if the Cardinals can jump up and force some change there.
Now, Marco, we'll just quickly go over the market moves of week 17. What plunges landed in week 17? Just take us through some of those.
Yeah, I think the market movers anyway that got the results, of moving a couple of points. Basically, the only one that really missed was, I guess, the Philly game that opened 3 and moved quite a long way to 6.5. They kind of, if you bet early, you got your money, and if you bet late, it actually middled the end result. So other than that, just quickly, the Pats opened 15, closed 17.5, and obviously put 50 to 10 on the board. So the punters were on target there. The Chargers went from 6 to 8. They crushed, winning by 21 points in their game. The Rams, big movers in their games, opened 3 flat, closed a touchdown. They missed actually, just winning by a point. Green Bay with big movers as well, opened 7 points, closed 13. They won by 27. And the Pittsburgh, one of the big movers probably for the week, they would have been rare with the record that you spoke about with Ben at Heinz Field. Actually opened +3 outsiders, started Pick'em, and, the result there, they won by 12 points. So pretty good punting week from the market mover point of view.
Very good. Well, that was a huge week 17 wrap. We'll be back next with To The House. Well, welcome back. It's time now for To The House, which is brought to you by TopSport.com.au, family owned and operated for 35 years. Bet with a bookie you can trust. Bet with TopSport.com.au. Marco, take it to the house.
Thanks, Corey. Okay, we've just got a couple of weeks to catch up, obviously missing last week. So just statistical point of view, before we bring in Toprope to cover how his To The House segment went for week 17, we'll bring up the bookie wrap, which includes 16 and 17 for those who are following. So for week 17 anyway, it's the strong favourites, as we just spoke about before. 12 out of the 16 favourites lobbed there, one of the highest favourite ratios for the year. The covering was only 8.5, and again, the under totals have just been dominating this year. As we can see from the season wrap, the favourites are running at 62%, which is very much low side. The outsiders are covering at 53% there for the lines, and you can see the under totals at 55%. The home teams have been coming on strong in the last couple of weeks. It was 11 out of 16 this week, and now it's just jumped up from 50 to 52 over the last 2 weeks. Toprope, just bring you in here to go over your 4 tips that you had for week 17. You got off to a good start, but the last 3 fell away, unfortunately.
It's tough back end of the year firing at tips early. So a little unlucky with the Houston game. That was looking very good for a very long time, thanks to the late field goal there. But it was one of those weeks. I like Detroit in the under in that game, so well played by me.
Yeah, Seattle putting up 51. You wouldn't have, not many would have tipped. They haven't looked like scoring all year. And Rusty Wilson put up 51 points on the board. So Toprope's overall record now season for the lines and totals, he sits at 43-43 going into week 18. Okay, so from the betting now we move on to week 18. And we'll bring in both gentlemen to get their thoughts. We've got 8 TV games at the moment, and we're just guessing on a few of them, just as 7 mate haven't produced what games they'll be showing. So we've just had a few stabs in the dark there for playoff contingencies there. So week one, note also this week that we've got 2 Sunday games, gentlemen. So good viewing on both of these games. We'll start with the Chiefs at Denver on the Sunday. This kicks off at 8:30 a.m. on ESPN. We've got the Chiefs here, the away favourite. They're airborne at the moment. Their line of -10 flat and a total of 44.5. Top rope, we've got the 11-5 Chiefs. Need the win to keep open their chances for the number 1 seed in the playoffs while Denver's season is over. We've got 2 top 5 ranked defences here. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I like Kansas City. I like them a lot. Laying the 10 points here. They've got a good record against Denver, covered 10 of 12. They need to win. And it's hard to see the Denver offense, which is pretty unimpressive, being able to break down the Chiefs defense, which until last week had been very, very strong. So, I like Denver to cover. I like Kansas City to cover that -10 easily.
Okay. Corey, KC going very well. They've won 8 of their last 9. Can you make a case for Denver, or do you agree with Top Rope?
No, I agree with Top Rope. Look, they'd be pretty disappointed after last week, Kansas City sort of throwing that opportunity away. And look, with all the marbles on the line this week, they need to get the job done, but it does seem, as we've seen in the notes, it is a low-scoring venue. So I do like that points total, the under, I reckon, in this one, because Denver never really seems like a venue where people go and light it up. So,
yeah, as Top Rope mentioned, Denver offense is not great. Their last couple of weeks only averaging 14 points on the board. So a bit of a minus Kansas City into the under, maybe combination there for multi-punters. Okay, match 2. This one will be a belter, I am sure, depending on whether Philly line up as a buy, as Top Rope may have mentioned. But if they go full strength, Dallas travel to Philadelphia. They're all division matchups this week. This one will be on Sunday at 12:15 on ESPN. We've got Dallas, all the money strengthening for Dallas at the moment. They opened 6, now jump to -7.5, and the total is at 42.5. Both teams are in the playoffs here, Top Rope. We've just touched on them in the futures market, I guess. So we've got the 11-5 Dallas v the 9-7 Philly. Dallas need to post the win for a chance for the number 1 seed. They're both in form. How do you see this one?
I like Dallas just because I think that there is one more likely they've got more to play for. The chance will be, and Dak Prescott against divisional opponents. He's 22-8 against the spread against the division. He has a losing record from a betting point of view against non-division opponents. So happy to back Dak. Happy to be on the Cowboys minus this one.
Okay, Top Rope might have thrown some money already in with the market line. Corey, how do you see this one?
Yeah, I remember Top Rope said that a few weeks ago, how Dak performs against divisional opponents. Look, I actually think both these teams, and Dallas will 100%, but I even think Philadelphia are going with a pretty full-strength team, especially having, a new coach that's come in. And, it's a massive opportunity then to really set a bar for going into the playoffs. And this will be a cracker of a game, Marco. This will be my first day out of lockdown on Sunday, and I'll be finding a pub to watch this one and maybe have a chicken parma and a few pots to really enjoy this. But I like Philadelphia in this one. I like the line in Philadelphia. So, yes, be an interesting game.
Corey and Top Rope head-to-head there, so that'll be interesting. I'm surprised Corey didn't give a shout-out for whoever's giving him a free Palmer and pot.
I can't because the Emerald shut on Sunday, so I couldn't really pop up the Emerald, could I?
Here he is. He'll find one. Give a shout-out any pub owners that are open on Sunday afternoon to host Corey and his Palmer and his pot. He'll get down there for you. Okay, we've got we move to the Monday morning starts here at 5 a.m. We're guessing this one will be on ESPN2. It's Cincinnati v Cleveland. The betting at the moment in some markets, Top Sports don't currently have it up, obviously, with just the news that the Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield is out. But some betting we've seen around is Cincy a line of -3 flat. The total's around the 41 mark, so a low total there. Top rope, we've got 2 teams in opposite directions. Obviously, the Browns season's over. The quarterback's gone in for surgery. We've got the Cincinnati have won 3 in a row now. They've clinched the division and their ticket to the playoff. Can Burrows and Chase continue their record-breaking stretch here?
Well, why not? Why not? Like I don't see this as a huge downgrade losing Baker Mayfield, but obviously there's got to be something taken off there. The Bengals have covered 11 of 14 against Cleveland. Cleveland were horrific on Monday against the Pittsburgh team that were there to be beaten. They've been so unreliable this year. And Kevin Stefanski gets plenty of reps. His refusal to run the ball and give Chubb plenty of carries early is pretty astonishing for mine. So I'm reasonably happy to jump on the Bengals here. I think they'll be playing. They'll be playing to win. They'll be playing hard. They're one of those teams who don't make the playoffs that often. Momentum's important. They're going to want to continue that from the Kansas City win. I do think this is an important game for them. I'll be backing them once.
Okay, Corey, pretty strong push there from Top Rope. What are your thoughts in this?
Yeah, I'm the same, and I do love that line of -3. I'd be all over that, especially after watching Cleveland last week and Baker Mayfield this week. I just think they've been the surprise packet of the season, Cincinnati, and just got some really good momentum going at the moment and becoming a really good team to watch. So I think they will do it and do it easy.
Okay, I agree with both those gentlemen. It's we'll see a bit later in my bet of the week. Okay, on to the fourth match. This is the second one of the 5 a.m.s on Monday. This will be more than likely shown on 7 Mate here. We've got a lopsided match. It's the Indianapolis Colts travel to Jacksonville. The Colts, an astonishing line here for the away team, favourite at -15.5, and the total's at 44 flat. Top Rope, it looks a bit of a mismatch on paper. We've got the 9-win Indy against the only 2-win Jacksonville. And Indy have to win this to make the playoffs against a team, Jacksonville, who have packed it in. They've lost 8 straight. You expect Indy Colts to get the job done here?
If you think this is a mismatch on paper, wait till you see the game. Well, that's really going to be a mismatch.
Stop it.
There is a modicum of concern that I'm taking laying 15.5 points on the road with Carson Wentz at quarterback. But surely they just feed the ball to Taylor, feed it to Hines, and they just run rampant on this Jacksonville side that's clearly given up. They were absolutely horrendous against the Pats the other day. So, and of course, the Colts beat the Pats a couple of weeks back. So I have no concern at all being with the Colts here. They've covered their last 6 on the road. They've covered 16 of the last 21 after they failed to cover a game. So they tend to bounce back well. Give me the Colts and give me them big time.
Jeez, it's a big. You won't see often Top Rope backing a big minus on the road. Corey, I hope he's not putting the clampers on your team. It's needs the W to make the playoffs. We won't ask you. You're pretty confident on the Colts, Corey. We'll go to you, but where do you think they'll win the game?
Well, it's a simple formula. You just got to run the ball and do it from the start of the game. It never seemed like early in the game last week didn't seem like we're giving the ball to Jonathan Taylor as much as what we should now. I know everyone knows it's going there, but stick with what works, especially going into an away team, albeit not a very good one. But, from the start, ram it home and run it down their throats.
Okay, pretty confident there from the Colts camp. Okay, we go on to the next match, the 5th match in the TV that we're going to cover. And this one is actually a 5 a.m. game on ESPN. It's Pittsburgh traveling to Baltimore. We've got Baltimore strengthening favourites here now of line of -5.5, and the total's pretty low at 41.5. The big key here, Top Rope, is going to be whether the Lamar Jackson returns for the Ravens. He's been close, definitely last week, and didn't line up. I know Huntley's going okay, but this team's now lost 5 in a row. Both sides are on 8 wins, with Pittsburgh having the draw, which could help them going forward. So which way do you lean here in 2 teams that definitely don't like each other?
Yeah, you would think that Lamar would have to play. You'd think there'd be a pretty thing. I kind of want to wait and see this one. I do think this fight in a fierce division matchup, I think it's a little big. Yeah, this will be Ben's last game. I know it's in Baltimore. The Steelers just have a tremendous record as an underdog. They've covered 36 of 51 as an underdog. I really think that they are in a pretty good spot to come back and cover this one. So I'm going back Pittsburgh in this one, but confidence will be determined by Lamar status, that's for sure.
Okay, a bit of hold fire there from Top Rope early. Wants to see Lamar Jackson lining up. Corey, listen, a lot of motion taken out of Pittsburgh. They're going to be on a short week with sending off Ben at home field. Emotionally, will they be affected going in, or it's just because it's last game, the energy's replaced and it's all out attack?
Yeah, it's a really hard game to get a read on, I suppose, with Pittsburgh, as you mentioned, coming off the really short week and such an emotional game with Big Ben. And at the moment, we don't even know whether Lamar Jackson plays. But I think if Lamar Jackson plays, the Ravens actually win. And, geez, they've had some heartbreaking losses over the last few weeks. And if Lamar Jackson plays, I think they'll turn it around and get a win.
Okay, opposite opinions here. Tough game, so maybe just a bit of fence sitting until the quarterback is known for the Ravens. But it's definitely worth watching that game. It'll be emotional from the Pittsburgh side of it, especially if they lose. It'll be Ben's last game, but obviously for the playoffs going forward to the winner potentially. Okay, match 6 we move on to, and we've got the 49ers travel to take on the LA Rams here. This will be shown on ESPN at 8:25 a.m. We've got the Rams, the home favourite here, the line of -4 flat. Totals just dropping a little from 44.5 down to 44 flat. Top rope, we've got the 9-win 49ers, your 49ers, a must-win game for them, while the Rams have clinched the division at 12-4. How do we see the 49ers here? They've got to win to make the playoffs unless the Saints lose to Atlanta, which are in the same time slot. So they've got to go out with a mentality to win. The Rams are running hot. They've won 5 in a row. So can your 49ers cause the upset?
Yeah, I think they can. Interesting to see who quarterbacks this game. Lance got the job done last week, but I'm not sure he was super impressive. We'd much rather see Jimmy Garoppolo. There, I think we've got a lot more out of Deebo Samuel and the run game when Garoppolo's on the field. So the Niners have a pretty good record against the Rams. They've covered 4 of the last 5. The Doggers covered 5 straight in this one. You know, I think Shanahan matches up really well with McVay. Stafford's play has been shaky at best over the last month. So, yeah, I'm happy to be with the Niners in this one. I know they've been fairly inconsistent, but I think the Niners can get the job done here. Okay,
the +4 there for Top Rope. Corey, they played not so long ago, week 10, and the 49ers beat them up, actually. They won 34-10. So they'll go in with some confidence for this divisional matchup. How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, intriguing matchup. Look, going into that venue, as good as the 49ers have run the ball and they've been over the last sort of 7 or 10 weeks, I don't have a lot of faith that they can go in there and get enough points on the board. But speaking of not having faith, Matt Stafford's been pretty scratchy over the last few weeks. And if they're going to go deep in the playoffs, this is where it needs to start. Like it's probably great for both teams, but more in particular the Rams, if they really want to use this opportunity to fine-tune going into the playoffs. And look, I think at home they will get it done against the Niners only just. It's only because if the Niners had someone in at quarterback, I would probably pick them with more faith, as in Top Rope and Paige's 49ers.
They're hanging tough to the end, the 49ers fans. Can't discredit them for that. Okay, it'll be a good match, good viewing. I'm looking forward to the contest for sure. Another one I'm looking forward to, I'll have to have 2 screens up and going. Luckily, I've got 5 to choose from in this office. We've got the 7th match on the board here. Also, 8:25 game. This is more than likely to be on 7, mate. We've got the Patriots going into Miami. I'd like to be in Miami watching it as well, just quietly. We've got the Patriots, the away favourite here. The line is now jumped up from 6.5 to 7 now, so it's a touchdown line to the Patriots. Low total here of 40 flat. Top rope, we've got, unfortunately, the Dolphins ended their season after unbelievably losing, I think, 7 straight, then winning 7 or 8 straight. So I don't think that's ever been done by a team before. The Patriots need a win here for their different calculations to to have a home final as opposed to an away. Listen, both teams are in form here. The Patriots have won 8 of their last 10, and the Dolphins have won 7 of their last 8. So how do you see this? Do you think the Patriots can get it done against Miami?
If I was in Miami, Marco, I can tell you I could probably think of a few better places to be than watching the Patriots-Dolphins. I've got a few ideas as to what could be going on there, but I would first inclination here is to be with the Dolphins. Home team's covered 15 and 19, but the importance of this one to New England and where they're going to lob and possibly home field advantage against Buffalo may have an impact on this one. So I leaning towards probably the minus, but best bet in this one, the under. I think the Dolphins keep it reasonably close. I think the Pats will just try to do enough. So I'm happy to be with the under on this one, but not a huge amount of confidence.
Sounds like Top Rope's already at his after party in Miami. As you know, when you travel to Miami, Top Rope, you get the business done first and you party second. So you always can always attend the game, the city that never sleeps as well. Okay, Corey, how do you see this one shaking out? Can the Patriots put another 50 on the board?
I don't reckon they will. And look, over the journey, boys, it's always been an intriguing matchup from the point of view that whenever I see New England going to Miami now, just check the weather out for Sunday, boys. It's going to be 26 degrees. So it could be interesting that New England, being in that cold environment, you've got to go down to somewhere warm. This game over the journey has caused a lot of upsets. So that said, I would still think the Patriots but don't be surprised. That's where probably the line for me, maybe the +7 with the Dolphins, offers a little bit of value for me.
Okay, not too much confidence around this game. Top Rope shows the confidence in the under 40 flat there. Okay, our last game of the season for Week 18 or for the season of 2021 will be on Tuesday at 12:20. It'll be shown on ESPN. We've got the playoffs start early here, gentlemen. We've got the LA Chargers travel to play the LA Raiders. We've got the Chargers, the away team here at -3.5 favourites. Have moved up from -3. Good size total here. The total's on the way up as well from 49 to 49.5. Top Rope, both sides on 9 and 7. As I mentioned, it's an early playoff game. The winner marches into a playoff match and the loser can book their holidays, probably down to Miami. In a dome, you expect fireworks here?
I think the Raiders plays pretty tough and they've been pretty undervalued for much of the season. So not a huge amount of confidence, but I'd probably rather be with the Raiders as the home dog here against a Chargers team that's just wildly inconsistent. You know, they can come out and blast a team and look like world beaters. Herbert looked like a superstar. And they can come out and put up a performance like they did a few weeks ago against, was it the Bengals, where they got absolutely murdered. So I'm leaning towards the plus on this one.
Okay, Corey, how do you see the LA teams fighting out for who continues on?
Oh, look, I would genuinely love to see the LA Raiders make the playoffs. And considering the year that they've had, we lost the coach and then obviously with the off-field incident, but just having a look, even Derek Carr has had his best year in terms of yards that he's thrown for 4,618 yards. He's really led that team, and I think it's been unbelievable from the outside to watch. And for them and that alone, I would love to see them win. And I think at home, that hostile environment, I think they'll get the win and get a very much deserved place in the playoffs.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. It's a fair story to follow the Raiders this year, and they were able to find this W and get in the playoffs. That story will continue for another week. Okay, if you are serious about your NFL punting, you can get to Top Rope's To The House. It's the last week to purchase it. It's $22 a week for his 4 or 5 tips that he normally has. So later in the week when all the players and everything announce, he will have those selections up. If you want to go to littlebirdie.pod.com into the shop, To The House, you can pick that up for $22 a week. Okay, gents, they're all the TV games for the week. Now we just need to go over the Super Bowl prices as they go up on the screen. I'll ask you, Top Rope, first. Your team that you've been supporting for the best part of, I would say, 8 to 10 weeks now. You've been heavily tipping in the Packers. I think you started around the $11, $13 mark, I think. I have to correct my numbers there, but they are favourites now at $4.30. The Chiefs, Corey's team, he tipped them at the start of the year, so he's well and truly alive at $5.80. The Chiefs, we've got the Rams now at third favourite, or equal third favourite, I should say, at $8.50 with the Bucks. The Bills, the team I tipped, I think around the $13 at the start of the year into $9.25. Tennessee Titans. Now, these guys have got to be somewhat of a mover here. Top rope at $9.75 with their potential superstar coming back, that running back. And Dallas Cowboys are next at $14. They're capable on their day. The Cincinnati team at $17. And as we go over the page, we've got my Patriots at $18 now. The Cardinals out to $19. Corey's Colts at $23. And Top Rope's 49ers at $31. Top Rope, any reason to get off the Packers at this stage?
Zero. No, I think they're going. They're cruising, and Aaron Rodgers said it was incredibly focused. I mean, they just continue to develop weapons. So now Alan Lazard's having an underrated good season. He is a very, very good possession receiver who can show kind of speed downfield too. So, looking at the list though, Marco, the value there has got to be Tennessee at around that $10 quote. Like they not only get Henry back, they will nearly almost certainly get a week off in the playoffs as well. So, which is huge. So, you would imagine they will have shortened up by a week to the playoffs. So, got to be a bit of value there with the Titans.
Yep, like it there, Top Rope. Okay, Corey, do you have a different opinion on how the Super Bowl's tracking?
Not really, other than the one that jumps out is the Tennessee Titans. I think if who knows what happens this week, that they manage to win, they guarantee that week off, and then they get this gentleman called Derrick Henry back, and I mean it could be a pretty good value bet.
Okay, there we go. Both seeing the Titans at the value at the $9.75, close to $10 in the marketplace. Thanks, gentlemen, for the Super Bowl coverage. We'll cover that through the playoffs, as obviously a lot of teams have dropped off the betting part there. Okay, Corey, it's time to get into our best bets of the week. If you want to just explain a bit about Walk With Me Online.
Yep, each week we've all been given $100. Some of us has done better than other people, Marco, haven't they? Like some have led the way and some have dragged the chain, but that's not what this is about. It's a segment that's sponsored by topsport.com.au. Obviously, TopSport is Australia's biggest betting bookie, bet where the pros get set, and all the profits get donated to my platform called Walk With Me Online, where we do some great things in the mental and physical fitness space. Now, Marco, how have we gone this week? I know I've got an unassailable lead, but it's not about that, Marco. It's about the money we raise to Walk With Me.
Yeah, true, Corey. But I'll tell you what, you daily hang your hat on Texas to the rest of us is not necessary. We know you've got it covered. It's going to be a long off season with you reminding it. But I will remind that the last 2 weeks, if you look at the stats, you guys have enjoyed your Christmas breaks because you've both gone duck eggs while I'm starting to rally late and find form into the playoffs. So I want the season to go a bit longer to catch up with you guys. But unfortunately for this week, Corey, you do lead unassailable. You're 11-6 on the year. Top Rope is at 8-9. Paige at 7-10. Not bringing up the rear with only 5.5. So our total for the year is just under 3,000. Now we've got 2,945. I still think throughout the playoffs, with us going, we'll cover that 3.5 budget I think we set ourselves at the start of the year. And this week's predictions, gents, as I go around the table, Corey, we'll start with you since you're the winner. What are you tipping for week 18?
Yes, I'm putting $100 on Philly at +7 at the line. So let's hope that'll get the job done against the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, Top Rope.
Colts -15.5 against the Jags.
Jeez, all right. Corey's Colts there. Paige is sending her tip. She's travelling around South Australia at the moment. She's living the life. I tell you what, it's not working too hard, that's for sure. She is tipped Tampa Bay -8 at the line, and myself, I am going to go Cincinnati at -3. I think that line will go a bit shorter like the Philly line did last week, and hopefully I can get 3 in a row. Corey, let's get the Super Bowl competition going here. This is the last week for a chance to someone and a friend to get a free ticket to our Super Bowl party. So I'll let you take it away and just explain how you can be a part of our Super Bowl party in, 6 weeks or something?
Thanks, Marco. Yes, it is our final week where you can win 2 tickets to our first ever Super Bowl party on Valentine's Day at the Emerson. Now, Marco, you will have to park your favourite day, but it is the favourite day for all NFL people in Australia. Monday, February 14, you can join us at the Emerson. Now, if you do miss out on the tickets, You can purchase your tickets at Little Birdie TV for $250 per person. It's all your drinks and food from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is a bloody good deal. So we've only got around less than 40 tickets remain. So for all details, go to Little Birdie TV and you can join us if you happen to miss out on these free ones. Now, the Week 17 winner, Cam Brown, tipped the Bills by 14 points. The exact margin, the Bills won 29-15, so he's right on the money. Mentioned Aaron Glenn, who also tipped the Bills, but lost the random draw for the ticket. So, mate, you'll have to go and spend $250. The Week 16 winner, Lockie West, tipped the Titans by less than 6 points. The Titans won 20-17, so close to the margin. Now, how to enter? What are we doing this week? We got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos this week. So enter, each team wins, what margin, and post it on our socials on Twitter and Instagram at Little Birdie TV and Third and Long TV. And to qualify, more importantly, so you don't have to spend your $250, and each entry, you must tag at least 2 friends. And remember, one entry per person per week. And as we mentioned, if there's multi-entries, we'll use a random entry as we did with the other ones. Well, that's a wrap for our last show of the regular season. And isn't it sad? We're finally nearly coming to an end and all the weeks are going to just suck. Anyway, big thanks to our Third and Long crew. Thanks to Top Rope. Big thanks to you, mate.
Great season. Great to be here. And we're nearing the saddest day of the year, the last red zone. The last red zone of the year is the saddest day of any year. So we'll get through it. Stay strong, boys, and playoffs just around the corner.
I'm in agreement with you, brother. But look, for everyone out there, you can follow us on YouTube, find us in the Apple Store, Spotify, SoundCloud, or wherever you happen to listen to your podcast. And remember to follow us at Little Birdie TV, at Third and Long TV on Twitter and Instagram. And remember, for all your NFL action can be found at topsport.com.au. And remember, invest wisely, punters.
Yeah, okay, Corey. We want everybody to enjoy Week 18. We'll just make mention that we will be having shows through the playoffs where we'll have a week off where we've got the 2-week gap, and then we'll have a Super Bowl special going into our party. Just make mention that we will be live next week from the Gold Coast. We'll be up there for the Magic Millions for Little Birdie, so that'll be interesting in Corey's hometown there. And our captain, Nick Heathcote, has recently moved up to be a neighbour of Corey, so we'll be recording live from there next week. And just make mention to follow us on littlebirdie.tv because we are hoping to be maybe purchasing us a horse. We're going into partnership with Roll the Dice at the Magic Millions. They're looking to buy us a pony. So if we do successfully buy one, anyone who wants to be a part of the action, you can follow us on Little Birdie. And if you want to join us, you can make a purchase when we do. We'll catch you next week.